Good evening. This is All India Radio and I'm Sanjay Mattu with the news at 9. The headlines. Lok Sabha passes Chit Funds Amendment Bill to facilitate orderly growth of Chit Fund sector and protect the interests of investors. Jammu and Kashmir government sanctions 42 projects under Himayat Mission for training and placement of over 68,000 youths. GST network says complaints on social media regarding non-functioning of the system are incorrect. About 56 lakh returns already filed till this afternoon. All permissions for shooting a film to be granted through a single window, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javedekar. A colourful ceremony marks the opening of the 50th International Film Festival of India in Goa. The Lok Sabha today passed the Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2019 by voice vote. The bill seeks to amend the Chit Funds Act 1982, which regulates and prohibits a fund from being created without the prior sanction of a state government. The amendments have been made to facilitate orderly growth of the sector, to remove bottlenecks and enable greater financial access to people. Replying to a debate on the bill in the House, Minister of State for Finance Anurag Thakur said, the bill has been brought with the intention of protecting the interests of investors belonging to the poor and marginalized sections of society.
कि जो पॉन्जी स्कीम्स हैं वो बिल्कुल अलग हैं, वो डिपॉजिट बेस हैं, घपले करने वाले काम हैं। चिट फंड एक लीगल सिस्टम है जिसके माध्यम से इसको चलाया जा सकता है। अब 2001 की इन्फ्लेशन रेट के हिसाब से इसको 3 गुना बढ़ाया गया है। इंडिविजुअल्स के लिए इसको 3 लाख रुपया किया गया और फर्म्स के लिए इसको 18 लाख रुपया किया गया इसकी लिमिट को।
The Rajya Sabha today also discussed the Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019 for consideration and passage. The bill prohibits commercial surrogacy but allows altruistic surrogacy. It has provisions to appoint appropriate authorities for the regulation of the practice and process of surrogacy. The bill was moved by the Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan yesterday. Participating in the discussion, Ms. Ami Yagnik of the Congress said it's a much-needed bill, but there are many lacunae in it. She raised a question about the definition of close relatives. She demanded that the bill be sent to the Select Committee for further deliberations. Mr. V. Vijay Sai Reddy of the YSR Congress also raised fingers on the clause related to infertility and demanded that NRI Indians should also get the right. Professor Manoj Jha of the RJD supported the bill. However, he said that some of the clauses are discriminatory. Mr. Binoy Viswam of the CPI said single women must also be given the right to get a child from surrogacy. Mr. Jairam Ramesh of the Congress said practice of commercial surrogacy has been misused in the past. He appealed to the government to consider all the points raised by the members. The discussion remained inconclusive. The Rajya Sabha today took up the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019 for consideration and passage. Moving the bill, Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot said the legislation is intended to bring transgenders into the mainstream of society. He said the bill has been prepared after extensive discussions with experts in transgenders organizations. The Congress today demanded that the government should disclose all details about electoral bonds before Parliament in the winter session. Briefing the media in New Delhi, party leader Anand Sharma said all information should be made public about which political party got how much money through electoral bonds. He alleged that the Reserve Bank of India and the Election Commission both had objections to the electoral bond scheme, but the NDA government ignored their suggestions. Home Minister Amit Shah today asserted that the situation in Jammu and Kashmir is fully normal and restrictions have been lifted in all the 195 police station areas. He said the decision on restoring internet services will be taken at an appropriate time as per the recommendation of the administration and taking into account the security situation in the region. He was replying to supplementary questions in the Rajya Sabha. The minister said there has not been a single death due to police firing after the scrapping of Article 370 and the bifurcation of the state. He said the incidents of stone pelting have also come down in the valley. Mr. Shah said all schools are open and the landlines are working. Home Minister underscored that all Urdu newspapers, English newspapers and television channels are functioning. Responding to a supplementary on the NRC issue during question hour in the Rajya Sabha, the Home Minister clarified that no discrimination will be made on the basis of religion during the National Register of Citizens or NRC process. The Home Minister said that whenever the process of NRC will be carried out across the country, all the citizens, irrespective of religion, will figure in the NRC list. The Minister also clarified that there is no link between the Citizen Amendment Bill and the National Register of Citizens.
किसी भी धर्म के लोगों को कोई डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। ये सारे लोगों को एनआरसी के अंदर समाहित करने की व्यवस्था है ही है। जिस गैजेट नोटिफिकेशन का उल्लेख माननीय सदस्य ने कहा, वो पूरे देश भर के अंदर एप्लीकेबल। जितने भी लोगों के नाम एनआरसी के अंदर समाहित नहीं हुए, ड्राफ्ट जो लिस्ट बाहर पड़ी है, वो सभी को ट्रिब्यूनल में जाने का अधिकार है।
The Jammu and Kashmir administration is working on effective implementation of the Himayat Mission. Under this, 42 projects have been sanctioned for training and placement target of 68,134 youths. They are provided free skill training for a duration ranging from 3 to 12 months. They'll be trained in a range of skills with the provision to provide placement to every trained candidate. In this regard, 63 training centres have been set up within and outside the Union Territory with an enrolment of 5,815 candidates. Meanwhile, a formal sanction has been accorded to the introduction of Jammu and Kashmir Transport Subsidy Scheme for replacement of 15-year-old buses. According to the order issued by the Principal Secretary of the Transport Department, the scheme is to provide impetus to public transport by providing subsidy to transporters for introducing new, eco-friendly, fuel-efficient buses. In Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistani troops once again violated the ceasefire today and resorted to indiscriminate and unprovoked firing in the border district of Poonch. A defence spokesman told AIR News Jammu that at 16:45 hours, Pakistani troops started small arms firing and shelling along the line of control in Krishna Ghati sector of the Poonch district. However, the alert Indian Army immediately retaliated and started giving an effective reply to the Pak firing. The Goods and Services Tax Network, or GSTN, has dismissed certain complaints made yesterday on social media regarding the GSTN system not functioning. The Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC, said more than 11,52,000 3B returns were filed yesterday. It said the GST return filing system was working within expected limits. The CBIC said the GSTN return filing system has been working as expected and coherently, and a total of more than 55,79,000 returns were filed by 4 p.m. today. Referring to complaints, the GSTN said that it could have been possible that some filers may have momentarily experienced being logged out at the load threshold of 1.5 lakh returns load. The GSTN has requested the taxpayers not to wait till the last 3 days to file their returns. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website newsonair.com. And now we move on to the cine world in Goa.
India's biggest film festival, IFFI 2019, the Golden Jubilee of India's International Film Festival. Join us on All India Radio News for all about IFFI at 50.
The Golden Jubilee edition of the International Film Festival of India, or IFFI, began today in Panaji, Goa, in the presence of a galaxy of stars from the Indian and world film industry. Speaking after inaugurating the mega event, Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javedekar said that India has been able to assert its soft power in the world through films. He said Indian films are being liked the world over and there has been an increase in the audience as well. Mr. Javedekar said that the government has opened a single window through which all permissions required to shoot a film in the country will be granted.
शूटिंग के लिए देशी फिल्म हो विदेशी फिल्म हो, अपने देश में इतनी सीनिक ब्यूटीफुल शूटिंग साइट्स है, उन शूटिंग लोकेशन पर फिल्म शूटिंग करने में 15-15, 20-20 परमिशंस लेनी पड़ती है, लेकिन हम अब सिंगल विंडो की पूरी तैयारी की है। सिंगल विंडो से सारी परमिशंस मिलेगी और उस परमिशन से लोगों को सहूलत होगी।
Mr. Javedekar said that this initiative will benefit Goa, Leh Ladakh and Andaman and Nicobar as well. The minister urged the Indian film industry to make films for the Divyangs or visually impaired. He said the narrational aspect in the films made for Divyangs will give them 360-degree happiness. He also expressed confidence that the film industry will be sensitive to the Divyangs. Renowned French film actor Isabelle Huppert was honoured with the Lifetime Achievement Award on the occasion.
I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm so honored and I feel so grateful for receiving this extraordinary award tonight. I wish a long life to the Goa Film Festival, the Indian Film Festival, and I'm so happy to be here tonight for the 50th edition of the festival. Thank you so much, everyone.
A postal stamp commemorating the 50th edition of IFFI was also released on the occasion by Mr. Javedekar. More details from our correspondent from Panaji covering the event.
The Golden Jubilee celebration of IFFI commenced with a glittering and colourful start at the Shamaprasad Mukherjee Stadium at Goa. Presence of eminent actors like Amitabh Bachchan, Rajnikant and other stalwarts added a dimension to the inaugural event. The scintillating music performance by Shankar Mahadevan and his troupe enthralled the audience.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Samaprabha Nirvikam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada.
Both Rajnikant and Amitabh Bachchan, after being honoured, expressed gratitude to their directors, producers, technicians and most importantly their fans.
My heartfelt thanks to Indian government for honouring me with this prestigious award, and I dedicate this award to all my fans.
Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. I have no words to express my gratitude to IFFI for honouring me today and for also having a retrospective of my films which will be starting tomorrow. I'm very grateful that you have chosen me and my films for a retrospective. I hope to see some of you there. Thank you once again.
The short film remembering former Chief Minister of Goa, Manohar Parrikar, who was instrumental in making Goa a permanent venue for IFFI, paid truest tributes to him. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Panjim.
Under the ambitious Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, 87 lakh homes have been completed in different parts of the country so far. Union Minister for Rural Development, Narendra Singh Tomar, said this while interacting with the beneficiaries from 5 states. Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Assam, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Mr. Tomar said the aim of the scheme is to have 2.95 crore houses by 2022. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin has completed 3 years today. The minister said the government will fulfill the dream of providing housing for all in rural India by 2022. In Sri Lanka, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa will be sworn in as the new Prime Minister tomorrow, after the incumbent Ranil Wickremesinghe decided to resign from his post to pave the way for a caretaker government. A spokesman for Mr. Rajapaksa said the swearing-in will take place in the afternoon after Mr. Wickremesinghe formally tenders his resignation. In the Korea Open, Indian shuttlers Kidambi Srikanth and Sameer Verma have advanced to the second round of the men's singles at Gwangju. The 6th-seeded Srikanth will face Kanta Tsuneyama of Japan in the second round. Sameer Verma reached the second round after his opponent, Japan's Kazumasa Sakai, retired midway with the score reading 11-8 in favour of the Indian. Sameer will take on Dong-hoon in the second round. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Lok Sabha passes Chit Funds Amendment Bill to facilitate orderly growth of Chit Fund sector and protect the interests of investors. Jammu and Kashmir government sanctions 42 projects under Himayat Mission for training and placement of over 68,000 youths. GST Network says complaints on social media regarding non-functioning of the system are incorrect. About 56 lakh returns already filed till this afternoon. All permissions for shooting a film to be granted through a single window, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javedekar, and a colourful ceremony marks the opening of the 50th International Film Festival of India in Goa. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website, newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And that's all in the news at night. Good night.